So today I want to talk about why the cargo refactor might wind up being not necessarily a big empty nothing, because it does bring some foundational things to the table, but why it's not all it's hyped up to be. So I think it's going to be good because it's bringing the opportunity for some real piracy into the game, soft ship death, so that'd be boarding, salvage. Moving your cargo around in your ship is going to be really cool, but I think it's ultimately worthless because, the supply and demand issues with trade haven't been fixed, right? Like if you buy something, you're not even sure that you're going to be able to sell it, if you can even buy it in the first place, right? Because there's this artificial low demand, low supply situation that's been created, which makes no sense. Like, why would they lock off an entire, gameplay loop? That just doesn't make sense. So I think that we're going to see a large initial influx of trade if people want to try out the new system. There's going to be a large influx of piracy right at the start, but I think it's going to drop off very quickly because people aren't going to be trading for very long because they're going to realize, wow, there's no money to be made here, and I go out, I spend all of my AUC, on this risk-reward proposition. I go to buy something, right? I'm not even guaranteed to be able to sell it, but then some pirate comes along and takes it. And there's not enough reward for the risk. So I think the way that could be fixed would be to increase the profit margin significantly, like even to say, you put up 500,000 AUEC, well, you should probably be getting back 750,000, so 250,000 profit, right? Because now there's going to be so many pirates, you should be making a lot more money because the risk has increased exponentially, right? And it's not even like you're going to be keeping all that money, so it's not going to be insane. The amount of money that people collect is going to be, all that money is going to be spent, or a part of it is going to be spent on escorts, right? So I think it'd be way cooler to see, people make way more money, but they're also willing to, instead of say 20,000 for an escort, maybe even 50,000 or 60,000 paying for an escort to defend against pirates. I think that'd be really cool. Get some nice organic player interaction going instead of these, the only player interaction we have are in big orgs or these events that come around every few months that CIG puts on, like Jumptown or the Ninetales Lockdown. Another thing I could see fixing this would be just to flat out reduce the risk of trade, so that would just be reducing the cost to initially buy the goods, not necessarily increasing the price that they're sold for at the trade districts. But supply and demand definitely has to be fixed. Otherwise, this is not going to last very long. So those are just some initial thoughts I had on seeing the cargo refactor. Hopefully none of this happens and everything is fine and dandy, but I don't really see that happening. I think that until supply and demand are fixed, nobody's going to want to trade, because they're not even going to be able to trade. They're not going to be able to buy anything or sell anything. So hopefully CIG will see this and they will fix the issue, but that's doubtful.